Hi everybody, Mrs. Host is back with the truth about bats. In our last chapter, they made it to California and they had just set up the cabin. That's what the bus turned into. Chapter 6. Ranger Mike had pitched his tent next to the bus cabin. "We'd better start setting up nets now, Ms. Frizzle," he said. He disappeared into the tent for a few minutes. When he came out, he had long black boots that came up to his hips. Ms. Frizzle put on long boots too, but hers had red bat shapes on them. "We need these hip waders," Ranger Mike explained, "because we'll be going into the river. That water is mighty cold this time of year." Ranger Mike unfolded a square of fine black netting. It looked like a huge hair net. "We call this a mist net because it's as filmy as mist," the ranger said. Miss Frizzle took some tall poles and waded across the river. In about half an hour, she and Ranger Mike had stretched 2 mist tents across the river. One net was higher than the other. They were nearly invisible. "The nets are right above places where bats come to hunt insects," Ranger Mike explained. "You mean the bats are going to fly right into the nets and get trapped?" Tim asked. "Some bats will get caught because their sonar won't pick up the netting fast enough," Ranger Mike said. "The net doesn't hurt them, and this is one way scientists learn about where different kinds of bats live. The bats are identified and counted, and then they are let go." "Why are there 2 nets?" Wanda asked. "Some kinds of bats fly low and some fly high," Ranger Mike told her. "The spotted bat, for example, flies high, so we need the higher net if we hope to catch one. In the lower net, we might catch some yummies." "Yummies?" we all asked at once. "We're not going to eat them, are we?" Arnold asked. He looked a little sick. "Don't worry, kids, that's just a nickname for the Yuma bat," said the ranger. "It is one of the most common bats around here. But we might catch other kinds too. Yosemite has 15 different types of bats." "That's 15 too many for me," Phoebe said. "May I be excused?" D.A. went to stand beside her. "Don't worry, Phoebe," she said. "The bats won't bother us." Just then, we heard the clanging of a bell. "Chow time," called Miss Frizzle. She had changed into another bat outfit and had a campfire going on the bank of the river. "We're having a cookout," Carlos said. "Hot dogs, hamburgers, baked beans, and potato chips," Arnold said. "All right. So we're using this mist net to catch bats. A mist net? We can't see it. We must have missed it." That was a joke. Everybody dug in and enjoyed the cookout, even Phoebe. As the sun went down, we sat around the campfire roasting marshmallows. "Ouch," I cried and slapped my neck. "Mosquitoes." "They're biting me too," Wanda said. "I hate mosquitoes." Ranger Mike looked out over the river. It was nearly dark. "The insects are out," Ranger Mike said. "It's time for the bats to wake up." "Now, may I be excused?" Phoebe asked. "But the fun is just beginning," Ms. Frizzle told her. "Here are your night peepers. Put them on and you will be able to see in the dark." It was terrific. With the special glasses, I could see almost as if it were daytime. "I think we just got one in the net," Ranger Mike called. He waded into the river and came back with something cupped in his hands. "It's a yum-yum," he said. "A young Una." "That's a bat," Phoebe said. "It looks more like a brown cotton ball." "It's a bat, all right," Ranger Mike gently pulled on the wings so that we could see the shape. "The bat's wings are something like our hands with a thumb and fingers," the ranger pointed out. "Sometimes bats use their wings to catch insects. The bat traps the insect against its body and then eats it." From the desk of Ms. Frizzle. "The scientific name for bat is Chiroptera, which is Greek word meaning hand wing. The arm, hand, and leg bones support the wing membrane. The membrane is made up of 2 thin layers of skin containing blood vessels, nerves, and tendons. Only bats that use echolocation have the extra little flap of skin called the tragus." And there's a picture of the bat and all the different parts. "I didn't know that a bat has fingers and thumbs," Phoebe said. "Bats are amazing creatures," Ranger Mike said. "The more you know about them, the more you like them." He cupped the tiny yum-yum in his hands again. Then Ranger Mike raised his arms. "I'm letting this one go now," he said. "Let's see what else we've caught in our nets." He opened his hands and the little bat flew off into the night. And we'll continue with Chapter 7 next time. Have a great day, everybody.